Good morning friends. Today we are going to continue the point uses of dimension analysis. In last plate we have seen the two uses. Now today we are going to see the third use of the dimension analysis to find the conversion factor between the units of same physical quantity into the different system of units. So friends, here I am going to take one example that show that 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne with the dimension analysis or with the help of dimension. Okay, now we have write the solution. So here we have write 1 Newton is equal to x dyne. So what is a Newton? Newton is a SI unit of the force. What is a dyne? Dyne is the CGS unit of the force. So first we should know the dimensions regarding the Newton. What are the dimensions for the Newton? Newton is the SI unit of the force. So what are the dimensions for the force? 1 in mass, 1 in length and -2 in height. Then here we will take x. Again here we should take 1 in mass, 1 in length, -2 in height. Because both are the quantities related to the force. What is the difference? This is the SI system and this is the CJ system. So here we have to use the suffix 1, 1, 1 and here suffix 2, 2, 2. Suffix 1 indicate suffix 1 indicate MKS system and suffix 2 indicate CGS system. Right. So when we are measuring the mass, so what is the SI unit for the mass? Kilogram. So we can say kilogram. What is the SI unit for the length? Meter. For the time? Second is equals to x. Where 1 Newton is equals to x line, we can consider this as equation number 1. Then here suffix to CGS centimeter gram second. So mass will be measured in terms of the gram, length will be measured in terms of the centimeter and second -1. What is our aim? To find the value of x. So x is equals to kilogram meter second square gram centimeter per second square. Now second square will be cancelled there. Kilogram meter gram centimeter. So 1 kg is equals to 1000 gram, that is 10 raised to 3 gram, and 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, that is 10 raised to 2 centimeter. So use these values here. So x is equals to 10 raised to 3 gram, 10 raised to 2 centimeter upon gram and centimeter. That will be cancelled there, and finally we are getting 10 raised to 5. So use this value in equation number 1. So we can write 1 Newton is equals to 10 raised to 5 dyne. So with the help of the dimension analysis, we have proved that 1 Newton is equals to 10 raised to 5 dyne. Friends, this is a total mathematical part. Again I am going to explain this part. For this part, you should know the dimensions of the force. How to calculate the dimension that I have told you in the last lecture. What are the dimensions for the force? 1 in mass, 1 in length and -2 in time. Is equals to x. Again we have write 1 in mass, 1 in length and -2 in time. Then we have write suffix 1, 1, 1 and 2, 2, 2. Suffix 1 indicate it is a MKS system. Suffix 2 indicate it is a CGS system. So in MKS system, meter, kilogram, second. Mass is measured in terms of the kilogram, length is measured in terms of meter, time in terms of second. And for the suffix to indicate the CGS, so for the CGS, mass is measured in terms of the gram, Length is measured in terms of the centimeter and again second square. Second raised to minus 2. Then after cancelling this, x is equals to kilogram meter per second square, gram centimeter per second square. So second raised to minus 2 will be get cancelled there. And finally we are getting x is equals to kg meter upon gram centimeter. 1 kg is equals to 10 raised to 3 gram and 1 meter is equals to 10 raised to 2 centimeter. So if we substitute this value, the gram and the centimeter will be get cancelled there. And finally we have got the relation 1 Newton is equals to 10 raised to 5 times. Friend, similar type of the question I am giving you for the homework, so you can try at the homework. So at homework, you should prove that 1 joule is equals to 10 raised to 7 earth. This is the question for homework. So you have to begin the same way, that 1 joule is equals to x earth. Then you should write the what is joule. Joule is the related with the work. So what are the dimensions of the work? 1 in mass, 2 in length and minus 2 in time is equals to x, 1 in mass, 2 in length and minus 2 in time. So use this dimension and finally you can get this answer. Okay, so here we have completed the part regarding the uses of dimension analysis. So friends, in last lecture we have seen what is meaning of the dimensions. We have studied the various dimensions. Then we have studied the uses of the dimension as well as the limitations of the dimension. So the dimension analysis part will be totally completed here. Friends, the next point which I am going to tell you regarding the convention for the use of SI units. So there are certain rules are there. Minimum 4 rules you should remember for the examination purposes. So what are these rules? These rules we have to remember while writing the SI units. This is very simple part. Just if you read, you will understand. It is very easiest part. So just total theoretical part is here. So what does the first rule say? Unit of every physical quantity should be represented by its symbol. For example, if I am writing the meter, so we can write the m for the meter. For kilogram, we can write the kg. For the gram, we can write the g. For second, we can use the symbol s. So we can use the symbol in order to represent the unit. That is the first rule. Second, full name of a unit always starts with a small letter, even if it is a name of person. So in English, you have stated that while writing the name of a person, the first letter should be capital. But here, the rule is different. That suppose if you want to write a full form of a unit named after the scientist. So here I am giving an example. Suppose Newton is the name of the scientist. So if we want to write the 1 Newton in a full form, then remember first letter should be always small. So 1 Newton, this is the correct method. If you are using the first letter as a capital, then this is the wrong method. What we should remember, that while writing the full form of a name of the scientist, then the first letter should always be small. So this is only for writing the full form. Third rule, symbols for the units do not take the plural form. So generally in English we have said that if there are the 5, if there is 1 mango, we can write 1 mango. If there are the 5 mango, then we are not writing the 5 mango, we are writing the 5 mangoes. We are using the plural form in our day-to-day life. But while writing the units, we should never use the plural form. So here 20 kg. So 20 is a plural number, but we are writing kg, not kgs. So we should never use the plural form for the writing the units. Next, symbols for the unit do not contain any full stop or any other punctuation mark. After in the English, likewise, when sentence is completed, we are using the full stop, right? So here, when we are writing the unit, we should never use a full stop or any other punctuation marks. So we know the punctuation marks is a comma, semicolon, question mark, punctuation marks. So all system of the exclamatory mark, question mark, such in brackets. So all these are not used while writing the units. So here I have given one example. That here I have 17 meter, right? This is correct. Here 17 meter and I have put the question mark. So question mark is not allowed, and that it will be incorrect method. So remember, while writing the unit, we should not use any kind of punctuation mark. Next rule, the units of a physical quantity in numerator and denominator should be written as the ratio. For example, acceleration when we are writing, there is a meter per second square, right? So when we are writing meter per second square, we can write in this way meter per second square. Again, if you are writing as this second square, if you are dividing the second twice, second again upon divided by second, that is a wrong method. Next rule, the prefix symbol is used up before the symbol of the unit. For example, if I am writing 1 millisecond, right? So 1 we should write the number, then we should write millisecond. 1 millisecond is nothing but 10 raised to 3 seconds. So before the symbols, we have to use such kind of milliseconds, such kind of prefix are used up. If someone is writing in this way, millisecond and writing to 1, this is a wrong method. Next, the space or hyphen must be introduced while indicating the multiplication of two units. So here we are writing the unit of the velocity meter per second. So meter per second, so in meter and second I have given some space. So friends, that should be observed very carefully that we should keep some space. Here I am using the hyphen here, meter per second. So that is also the correct meter. But if you write the meter and second very close to each other, then what will happen? Meter multiplied by second, or someone can pronounce it as a millisecond also. So we should always remember that when two units are not multiplied, then we should keep some space, or we may use the hyphen. If we are using these units very close to each other, then its pronunciation may be changed. So these are certain rules, friends. Minimum 4 rules you should remember during the examination. Okay, friends. Again, I am going to tell you what we have learned today. Today we have seen the third use of the dimensions to find the conversion factor between the units of the same physical quantity into the different system of units. After that, we have seen here two examples. So one example I have told you that 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 9. How to calculate this with the help of the dimension? And one question I have given you for homework. 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to 7 that you have to prove with the help of the dimensions. Friends, again we have seen one of the important part and which is very useful while writing the units is the convention for the use of SI units. So this is total theoretical part. So I hope you have understood this part. Friends, make the proper notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.